Before we break, I want to quickly talk about, did you hear about this proposed one-way trip to Mars?
No.
This is fascinating. I'm kind of into this type of thing and space exploration. The moon exploration projects have essentially been abandoned for a number of reasons, and funding has been. I believe Obama may have actually said it's over. We're not even doing that anymore. I may be wrong. Don't quote me on that. So the next logical step for many astronomers was, let's go to Mars. And the problems, obviously, are not only that we can't currently really live there successfully without significant modifications, some domes where people can breathe. A lot of equipment would need to be brought over there. But the big holdback was to go and come back. The amount of fuel and supplies that would be required would just be insane. So there's actually, in the Journal of Cosmology, I read this thing. It's not very long. It's at journalofcosmology.com. It's like a 4-page paper by a couple of individuals. I don't know if they're astronomers or physicists. And the idea is, let's do a one-way mission to Mars. By doing that, if we go to Mars without the idea of those people coming back as a colonization mission, we can reduce 80% of the costs because you don't need supplies for the return trip. And also the amount of fuel that you need goes down significantly because, number one, you don't need the fuel to come back. And number two, you just don't need to carry as much because there's less supplies on there. And I encourage you to actually read through it. But a few of my thoughts on it were, the reaction from many people was, hey, this is a suicide mission. You know you're not coming back? What does that mean? You're going to die on Mars. Think back to when the first settlers left England to come to the United States, to what now is the United States.
That's a little different.
Lewis, hold on. Let me make my case, please, if I may, before you shut my mic off. They were not leaving with the intention of going back to England. They knew we're going somewhere, and realistically, it will be our new home. We are going to colonize somewhere new. So that is not altogether different. This is not a suicide mission to Mars. It is a mission where you will live the rest of your life working on Mars instead of working on Earth.
Assuming you'll be able to live the rest of your life on Mars, assuming you get there, assuming once you get there, all your equipment works, assuming you can grow food, you can keep a steady flow of oxygen.
All of these things are accounted for in this paper, and it talks about they would send two spacecraft, each with 2 people, man and woman, I believe, in each. The people to go initially would all be over 50 because realistically, the long-term exposure to radiation would make it so they wouldn't be able to reproduce anyway. So it makes sense to send people who are over 50. It would be very careful psychological profiling. They would bring supplies for the initial amount of time. In advance of their arrival, there would be non-manned missions sent to start growing food in a kind of habitat dome. They would start doing some terraforming and preparing the land. I mean, it's pretty compelling. Whether it's all 100% viable, I don't know. But what really gets me when I read it is the timeline. I mean, it's talking about spending 20 to 25 years if we started today preparing for the arrival of the first people and then initiating the 6-month trip out there, which in 20 years we should be able to make the trip in less time. There's some ion propulsion stuff that's being investigated that would drop it from 6 months to only a 40-day trip. What do you think about this? I think it's great.
I think it's interesting. I certainly would not sign up for it.
You wouldn't personally?
No.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to be the first guy. I really, not that they would pick me. I think it would need
it would be a boring, horrible,
and psychologically taxing for sure.
It would be a terrible fate.
You don't like it one bit, but you think it's worth doing. I mean, the big thing is,
I'd love to see the pictures.
We don't know what will happen with global warming in this country, on this planet. Maybe it makes sense to have a backup planet.
Oh, and I believe that makes perfect sense. I just refuse to be one of the first ones to set foot on it.
All right, well, Lewis, if they start bugging you to be the first one, you let me know, and I'll make sure they let you out of it.
Thank you.
Let's take a break. We'll come back with Robert Applebaum. We'll talk about student loans. Plenty coming up on the show, and, of course, the bonus show. A lot going on. DavidPakman.com is the website.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.
The David Pakman Show is made possible by listeners like you and by Greenfield Savings Bank, building a strong community one account at a time, with neighborhood offices in Greenfield, Amherst, Conway, Shelburne Falls, South Deerfield, and Turners Falls, and online at greenfieldsavings.com. By the Daily Hampshire Gazette and gazettenet.com, connecting our communities with local news and information. By DIF Design, specializing in custom business websites at difdesign.com. Find out more about underwriting The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.